quite remember the size, but I think it's pretty much the size of the glass. Hey, welcome to a little bit more work on Sunday. I've been doing some work this morning. It was raining. It's stopped raining now, so that's good because the camera really doesn't get on very well with rain. Got some glass to cut here. Don't quite remember the size, but I think it's pretty much the size of the glass here. 50, maybe it was 45. 45 is really good for that piece. I'm going to have to do a fair bit of glass cutting, so I'm not going to do that just yet. Okay, that's so. Just take a piece of tissue paper here and clean the surface. It's getting a little bit old, this. Very thick, this glass, 4mm thick. I've had actually really quite difficulty breaking it, cutting it. Partly perhaps because my diamond is a little bit old. Maybe I should turn it around one. It could just be that I'm not doing it very well because I'm not really. I should have a bigger flat board so that I can knock it quite hard. It's a little bit windy now. There's a little change in the weather, although there is actually, I can see a rain cloud looming there, just about to appear over the brow of the mountain, over the brow of the hill. Now this isn't going to be completely waterproof, this what I'm doing now, because it's a kind of compromise solution I've got going on here. The compromise is that I'm not going to use putty at once. I'm not putting the little nails in, these little panelling nails, panel pins. I'm not putting them in very deep. They can just be pulled out again with a pair of pliers. And then after a period of nice warm drying weather, I'll take one row at a time and redo it with putty. Although the ones I did yesterday in the wet with putty actually surprisingly good. So I don't know. I mean, I imagine that you shouldn't really do putty in the wet, but maybe it's okay. So I've just been cutting these as I've been going along. I've just been cutting off these top pieces as I've gone along, just by using the eye line, a sight line. I just look at the previous couple of cuts, and then I put my eye on the line there, put a mark, and it's surprisingly accurate. I'll do the last of these ones from the gable. The last adjustments I'll do from the gable end, and then I just see that the saw is near the previous piece to get the direction that way. So I can put a board going from the top of the rafters up through this gap and then have a top board on top. It's quite a neat way of doing it. You almost don't need anything at the top because hardly any rain comes in at the very top there. I worked on a house a few years ago where there'd been a big gap like this, like 5 or 6 centimetres at the top for 40 years without it actually doing very much damage at all to the building, almost nothing. Although of course it was an old building, 100-year-old building, so all of the roof construction was made of wood, no tar paper. Which in a way you might think would make it more likely to rot, but ironically it's actually less likely. Well, at least in that case it didn't rot. I'm so happy to be using these pieces of glass after them just sitting around there for such a long time. I took down an industrial greenhouses. Actually had a bit steeper pitch, the roof on that. I've got metalwork for it as well. I'm in a metal roof construction. But sometimes things don't always pan out the way you thought. Some old panel pins there. From its previous life. And I think I'm going to put, I might put a tarpaulin over this. I might put plastic actually, maybe 0.5 plastic, because then it would be see-through. I don't want the ice gripping onto the glass at the moment because it's not properly fixed. When it's got the putty in it, it'll be much sturdier. I'm just thinking aloud really. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with all these things. It could very well be that it's fine like it is and that it's perfectly waterproof enough. We'll see. I won't do any more if it is. So what I've been doing here is just fixing these glazing bars into the purlins as I go along. Now, the only trouble is here that I might not be able to get down. I might have to move the ladder to the gable of the building, and I can move the camera at the same time.